How you doing, guys? Welcome back to AFC Game by Game. Here today to take a look ahead to the game on Saturday, Arsenal versus Burnley, the 12:30 kick-off, the first game of the weekend. I, for one, am buzzing for it, as I'm sure you guys all are as well, following that 1-0 victory away from home against Newcastle. It's a game that is brimming with positivity, and I really hope Arsenal can live up to that. Before I get into the match, I'm really looking forward to briefly talking about those new third kits that Adidas have released. They've absolutely blown Puma out of the water with the kits they've released this season. The home, the away, and now the third kit are as beautiful as each other. And I'm not saying Puma did bad kits. I mean, some of them were really not to my tastes. Some of them I thought were pretty decent. But these ones that Adidas have brought out have just blown those kits away. And I'm really excited to be seeing us line up in them throughout the course of this season. I thought the away one looked brilliant at Newcastle. I'm really looking forward to seeing the home one properly on Saturday. And all round, I'm just buzzing to get back to the Emirates. It's a game that's, as I say, I'm sure I've said it way too many times now, but I'm looking forward to this one. And I really hope we can pick up exactly where we left off against Newcastle. One of the reasons I am feeling ever so positive about this game is that in that game last weekend, we won that game, I would say, fairly convincingly. I mean, it was a scrappy affair, but it was a confidence-boosting performance, especially given how resolute we were at the back. And I do feel like we can build on that. And with so many first-team players out of that game, to see some of those players come back into this match against Burnley, to see potentially Nicola Pepe start, I'm feeling really good about this game. And I mean, regarding the team lineup that I want to see from Arsenal, it's hard to really say what changes I'd make from the game last weekend, because of course the defence looked really good, and it's hard to really make any changes to the back line. But I think what I would like to see in that sense is I'd maybe like to see David Luiz come in for Socrates. I know it's a controversial one, and it's one that really is up for debate, but I really feel like at home especially, we could benefit from his passing. He's had a proper week now training with the first team, and I would like to see him coming alongside Callum James. I think that could definitely be an exciting centre-back partnership. And then Maitland-Niles on the right-hand side, I'll be the first to say I was completely wrong to say in the game against Newcastle that I'd rather have had Mustafi at right back. I don't know what I was thinking in the preview for that game, because he absolutely excelled in that match, providing the assist for Aubameyang's goal. And if you can play that way, and to be fair, Burnley don't really play with conventional wingers, so I think this will be a game that's tailor-made for him. He won't really have to worry too much on the defensive side, but I think he'll be perfect in that right back role for this game. And then on the left-hand side, of course, I'd like to see Kolasinac come back. I thought Monreal was fine against Newcastle, to be honest. I wouldn't really have any problems with him starting this game, but if Kolasinac is fit, I'd really like to see him get a run out, if not on the bench, and then maybe get half an hour at the end of the game, because I do think he's going to be such a good option for us going forward this season. And also, I really want to see what he's made of, if he has improved defensively over the summer. I think that's something that's worth taking a look at, potentially in this game on Saturday. The midfield too, I would really like to see Ceballos get a start, and I'd really like to see him get a start in the midfield too, alongside Granit Xhaka. It really does excite me, the passing of David Luiz with Granit Xhaka as well, and then with the technical ability of someone like Ceballos driving the team forward. I really do get very excited by that. And then with Mesut Ozil ahead of them, if he's available to start, of course. I mean, this, just briefly touching on this police incident with Ozil and Kolasinac, I do worry that this could be dragged out for a long time. It could potentially go on for the course of the season. I wouldn't like to say that. I do, sincerely hope that Ozil is back in the team for the weekend, the same with Kolasinac, but it is one of those things that could get dragged out for absolutely ages. And I think Arsenal have got to make a really ballsy call on this one. I think at home they should be okay. There should be enough security there, but it's a big call, and I would understand if neither of them were in the team. But we need these players, and I do really want to see Ozil in the starting 11 on the weekends. If not, then I'd probably put Torreira in alongside Granit Xhaka and then play Ceballos a bit higher up. I think one of the reasons that we're not going to see Torreira start just yet is, of course, that he hasn't really had a full pre-season with the team. We are slowly integrating him back into the side, and I think Emery's making the right decision on that one. Of course, I'd love to see Joe Willock again at some point in this game, maybe not starting, but off the bench. If Ozil doesn't start, definitely I want to see Joe Willock start again. We are blessed with midfield options. If you haven't seen my video yet on the possible combinations we've got in midfield, please do check that out. It's one of my most recent uploads. I'll leave a link to that in the description box below, but there's so many options there. Whether Guendouzi will start again, I'm not too sure, but if Ozil's back in the team, I mean, to be fair, part of me is thinking Ozil won't start just because he has missed a bit of time whilst this police matter has been going on, so it might be a case of we see Willock or Guendouzi start again in the midfield. In fact, I'd probably put quite a bit of money on one of those two starting in this match, but that should be a good enough midfield. It definitely works really well against Newcastle last weekend, and Guendouzi looks a lot better than he did towards the back end of last season, so that's really promising. And then up front, that's where things do get interesting. As I say, I want to see Nicola Pepe start. He got 20 minutes against Newcastle, and I'd really hope that he's fit and ready for this game against Burnley, because the thought of him, Aubameyang and Nelson up front, I know people are toying with the idea of Aubameyang on the left and Lacazette up top. That's something we could look to do. I mean, I think this would be a good game to maybe trial that. For me, I don't think that's going to be a system that's going to be used too often. I know that's the tantalising, mouth-watering prospect that we've got on our hands, but realistically, Aubameyang isn't a left winger, and his stats from the left weren't particularly impressive last season. I do worry that in those games where he'd have to track back, he wouldn't necessarily be the best at doing that, but I do like that Aubameyang cuts in, and he could look to do that from the left-hand side. But for me, that's not really a long-term viable option throughout the course of the season, so I do think we're going to play proper wingers in Nelson and Pepe, Smith Rowe, etc. when these players come through as well. So, I mean, it's definitely an exciting prospect, Lacazette, Aubameyang and Pepe, but I think it's just working out how those three are going to work together. I'm not sure we'll see all three of those on the pitch too soon. It's something that I think Emery and the coaching staff are going to have to work on, but I've got no doubts that those three, will see them playing together at some point in a formation that will suit all of those players. It could be a case of them lining up as a three, but their fluidity to chop and change in between, I mean, might see them not play as conventional wingers or strikers, if that makes sense. But I thought Aubameyang was so good at leading the line on the weekend. I want to see him retain that spot leading in that centre forward role, so I'd have him up top, Nelson on the left, picking up where he left off against Newcastle. I want to see a bit more from him at home. I think he can get involved in the game a little bit more. There were a few moments against Newcastle where he shied away a little bit, didn't get involved as I think he could have done. So I want to see him on the left, Pepe on the right, and then introduce someone like Lacazette, because another reason why Lacazette probably won't start is because he had that little niggle, and I think he's going to be slowly integrated back into the side, like the likes of Lucas Torreira. Positive news as well is that Rob Holding played another 63 minutes with the under-23, so it should only be a couple of weeks now before he's back in the first team. So that's an exciting prospect, but I'm feeling very confident about this game, and I want to see us keep another clean sheet. And to be fair, I would take another 1-0 win, even though it's Burnley at home. You'd want to see us win by a couple of goals, but Burnley just come into this game on the back of a 3-0 win against Southampton. Great win for them. Ashley Barnes up top, getting a brace. He's one to watch. Goodmanson as well, getting a goal. They're a very resolute, a very, very compact team. A side that will be tough to break down, and the fact they kept a clean sheet and scored goals as well, that's something that they struggled to do last season. Sean Dyche is a very astute manager. This won't be an easy game. Of course, we won this fixture 3-1 last season, but as I say, I'd happily take 1-0. What I want from Arsenal this season is to quietly go about our business in a professional manner, not draw too much attention to ourselves, and just get the job done. Score prediction for this game, as I say, I'll be more than happy with a 1-0 win, but I think we've got all the credentials to win this game by 2-0, so that's my score prediction. I'm going to go for Aubameyang and Pepe to score. That's something that I'd love to see in this game. And yeah, let me know your score predictions. Let me know your team lineups in the comments box below. Drop a like on this video if you have enjoyed it. Thanks for all the support on the channel recently. It's meant the absolute world to me. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, of course. And I will speak to you very, very soon. See you later, guys.